Hey, what's up, everyone? You're here with Goran from Pickdawgz, and thank you for joining me here for your free picks for Saturday, March 9th. Well, guys, we have another busy weekend ahead of us. Saturday and Sunday are pretty evenly split as far as the amount of games goes. Uh, in this video, there's I believe 16 or 17 free picks for you, including the free parlay of the day at the end of this video. So stay tuned, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. And of course, feel free to leave a comment on any of these videos. As for my best bets, you can click the link in the description. That will get you up to my page where you can sign up, get a daily pass, 3-day pass, 7-day pass, or even a month-long pass if that's something you want to do. For the first time this season, there will be an MLS video for all the games on Saturday. We actually have a decent slate, I think 12 or 13 games or something like that. So you can find that up on the Pick Dawgz YouTube as well, guys. Check it out, get some free picks, and have an exciting Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening in the MLS. Let's get this show on the road, guys. As usual, we are going to kick it off with the EPL. The first game of the day is between Manchester United and Everton. Manchester United not nearly as dangerous without Rasmus Højlund as they are with him, and he is listed as questionable for this game. I think he might get maybe last half an hour or something like that. I don't think he will start the game, but luckily for Manchester United, they have been scoring goals consistently, and now they're playing against Everton, who can't keep a clean sheet. They are struggling a lot defensively, but they are also scoring goals. In the head-to-head matchups, we have seen a lot of overs. We have seen a few unders. We have seen both teams to score. We haven't seen both teams to score. So honestly, it could go either way. But because both teams are scoring goals quite consistently, and defensively are both very unstable. I'm gonna go with both teams to score and over 2.5 in this one, and that is at minus 102. For our next matchup, guys, we have Bournemouth hosting Sheffield United, and by far, Sheffield United is the worst team in the league. They are at the bottom of the table. They will be getting relegated. They have only one win, two draws, and 10 losses on the road. Only 10 scored goals in 13 games and 30 conceded goals in those 13 games. Defensively, Sheffield is not good whether they played at home or on the road. Offensively, they have been showing a little bit. They have been scoring a few goals, but now they have conceded 12 goals in their last three games without scoring a single goal. And this is a must-win game for Bournemouth. They haven't won any of their last three home games, and they needed to stay away from the relegation zone here. So I'm going to take Bournemouth to win it over 2.5 goals, and that is minus 125. Crystal Palace is hosting Luton Town, and I gotta be honest, I am leaning towards Crystal Palace, of course, at home with the new head coach. They have been looking a little bit better. They have been scoring some goals, but Luton Town, on the other side, is a team that does not give up, and they have been coming back into games. The latest one was against Aston Villa, where they were losing 2-0, got back to 2-2 just to concede a late goal and lose a game 3-2. Luton Town has also scored at least a goal in each of their last 7, 8, 9, 10 games in a row. And Crystal Palace is not that good of a defensive team, and their form is still very shaky. And because of that, guys, both teams to score at minus 133. That's going to be my pick for this one. Wolverhampton and Fulham is the next matchup in the EPL, and Wolverhampton suffered a loss against Newcastle 3-0. They had a decent amount of chances in that game, they just couldn't score the goal, and that does not happen often to this Wolverhampton team who's been having a pretty solid season so far. Fulham on the other side shut out Brighton last week 3-0 at home, but I don't think they can keep another clean sheet here. Not the second time in a row, to be honest. Wolverhampton definitely has enough firepower to get on the scoreboard, maybe even twice in this game, and Fulham does as well, especially in their current form. So I'm going to go with another both teams to score, and that one is at minus 154. Arsenal and Brentford is the last game of the day in the EPL, and Arsenal has scored 10 goals in their last two games. Their offense looks pretty solid. They're coming off of a win against Sheffield United, and they're still in that title race with Manchester City and Liverpool in the EPL. Brentford, on the other side, haven't won any of their last four games. And Arsenal hasn't lost to Brentford in any of their last three home games. But Brentford is a team that will surprise you when you are not expecting it. And the only problem for them right now is the fact that they have a lot of injuries. But potentially a good thing could be for them the fact that Arsenal is playing in the Champions League against Porto next week. That means that there could be some rotations done by Mikel Arteta here. We could see some players we don't see often in the starting lineup, and I think that will leave Arsenal a bit vulnerable. Vul, vul, sorry, that will leave them a bit shaky, especially on the defensive end. And I think that Brentford could get on the scoreboard in this one. I'm going to go with both teams to score in this one as well at minus 110. I could also see the over 2.5 hitting quite easily in this game. So if you want a nice plus money, take Arsenal to win, not Arsenal to win. Take both teams to score and over 2.5. And I think it's going to be a nice winner for us as well. Off to Spanish La Liga, guys, where we have three games here for you as free picks. Cadiz versus Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid is playing a very important game in the Champions League next week against Inter. They lost 1-0 in the first leg, but they are the hosts in this game. And to be honest, they still have a very decent chance of qualifying for the next stage of the Champions League. Cadiz on the other side, one of the worst teams in the league, in the 19th place. Defensively, they are conceding about a goal and a half on average. A little bit less at home than they are conceding on the road, but they're still conceding 1.2 goals on average when playing at home. They also haven't been scoring a lot of goals, only 11 goals in those 13 games, while Atletico Madrid on the other side has been scoring a decent amount of goals both at home and on the road. And they need to keep their good form up. So they are coming off a win against Betis 2-1. And they could definitely use another win here in this game against Cadiz. So I'm going to take Atletico Madrid over 4.5 shots on target at minus 133. Granada and Real Sociedad is the next matchup in Spanish La Liga, and Granada almost at the bottom of the table, one of the worst teams in the league. They haven't won any of their last seven games. They have two wins, six draws, and five losses at home this season. While Real Sociedad is on a very, very bad track right now. They have lost five of their last six games. That they've lost four of their last four in a row. They got knocked out of the Champions League. They got knocked out of Copa del Rey, and they are sinking further and further down in La Liga, which is now seventh place for them with 40 points, which means that they are no longer in the Champions League zone. Real Sociedad is the better team here with more quality. They are playing better football. They do have a lot of injuries. But I think that Real Sociedad is due for a nice performance on both ends, for that matter. So we are getting them at minus 114 on the road against one of the worst teams in the league. And I'm going to give it a shot with Real Sociedad on the money line, guys. It's minus 114, like I said. Uh, there are better games to bet on Saturday, but I do like money line in this one. And I will put maybe even less than half a unit on it just to see how it's going to work out. The last game in the Liga is between Girona and Osasuna, and you know what? Girona is a pretty heavy favorite despite their pretty bad form. They have won only one of their last five games. They're coming off of a loss to Mallorca on the road, which was quite unfortunate because when Real Madrid dropped points, Girona had another chance to join the title race once again. But now they have dropped third place and they definitely need a win. However, I'm not sure they can get it because because Osasuna is playing the best football of the season so far, undefeated in their last four games, coming off of a 1-0 win against Alaves. And I think that they could be pretty dangerous here in this game against Girona on the road. Budimir has been playing in basically form of his life. He has 14 goals in seven games so far this season for Osasuna, and that is for a team that is not scoring a lot of goals. Osasuna in total has scored 31 goals, which is 26 goals less than Girona has scored this season. But like I said, I think that Osasuna will have a decent chance in this game, and because they're such big underdogs, we are getting the double chance on Osasuna at plus 135. And I will take it, guys. I think it's going to be a tight game. We can't really rely on Girona right now. Yes, they need a win, but in their current form, I'm not sure they can get it at home against Osasuna. So I'm going to take Osasuna on the double chance. In German Bundesliga, guys, we have a few interesting games, and the first one is between Gladbach and Köln. Gladbach somehow kept a clean sheet last week against. They played against. No, they haven't kept a clean sheet, and they haven't kept a clean sheet in any of their last two games. But they have been showing a lot of offense as of late, and they have been scoring some goals quite consistently. And in this matchup, when they are the home team, we usually see both teams to score and over 2.5. And I think it's going to be the same in this one as well. Cole definitely needs a positive result to get above the relegation zone, to get closer to that same zone, even though they're now like 9 points away or something like that. There's still enough games left this season for them to get to the safe zone. However, it's not going to be an easy task. And these are the type of games where they have to show up for. So I'm gonna go with both teams to score at minus 143. Over 2.5 will get you into the plus money, and honestly, I don't mind that at all. So if you like both teams to score at over 2.5, I will definitely go for it. As usual, I'm being a little bit cautious here because you never know what's gonna happen, and minus 143 is a decent price. Augsburg and Heidenheim is the next matchup in Bundesliga, guys. And Augsburg is now on a two-game winning streak. Once again, they are heating up. They've scored 8 goals in those two games. They're playing really well, especially at home this season, where they have scored 22 goals in 12 games, conceded 21. The defense is not their best side, of course, but offensively, they could outscore teams like Heidenheim without any issues at hand. Heidenheim, on the other side, has won only one of their last 6 games. However, they are one of those teams that is scoring goals quite consistently, and it's only a matter of time before they get back on the winning track. I don't think they can do it here against Augsburg, but I'm going to go for the full value in this one, guys. I'm going to take Augsburg to win it over 2.5 goals at plus 162. As a matter of fact, you might even take Augsburg to win and both teams to score, and that's like plus 250 or something like that, because I definitely see both teams scoring in this one. But just in case that doesn't happen, I'm going to go with Augsburg to win and over 2.5 goals at plus 162. Bayern is coming off of a Champions League matchup against Lazio to host Mainz in Bundesliga. And in that game against Lazio, Bayern definitely looked like a team that just hasn't gone through a bad period like they did. Everything was going their way. Their way. They were producing enough chances. They were solid defensively. They scored 3 goals. They knocked Lazio out of the Champions League, and I gotta be honest, I just don't see Mainz stopping them in this game. Mainz has had some success in the past against Bayern Munich, but most of that happened when Mainz was the home team. I just don't see it happening here. The last 6 games that Bayern was the home team in this game, they've won each of those 6 games, and only one of those hasn't gone over 3.5 goals, and that was a 2-1 win for Bayern Munich. All the other games have gone over 3.5 goals. Bayern Munich has scored at least 3 goals in each of those games. And honestly, I do expect something similar here as well. That's pretty much the only value you can get is Bayern to win and over 3.5 goals. But I'm also gonna go with Bayern minus one in the first half at plus 140. I think that they will start quick. I think they will start fast. They will get eager to get to the scoreboard. And with Harry Kane back on the goal scoring track, I think he might be one of the scorers here, and I think it's going to happen early in the game. So I'm taking Bayern minus one in the first half at plus 140. Leipzig is looking for a win after getting knocked out of the Champions League by Real Madrid, and luckily for them, they're playing against Darmstadt, who is at the bottom of the table. But theoretically, Darmstadt still has a chance to get to that relegation promotion playoff spot, which is now only like not seven, 4 points away from them. But they are coming off of a massive loss against Augsburg, 6-0 at home. They are not scoring a lot of goals. Defensively, they are really a mess. They have a few injured players, and everything is pointing toward is pointing towards Leipzig in this game and for them to bounce back. So I'm going to take Leipzig to win and over 3.5 goals at -102. Werder Bremen and Borussia Dortmund is the last game of the day in Bundesliga, and I think it's going to be an interesting one. Now, I'm not willing to put my money on Borussia Dortmund because they are playing against PSV Eindhoven in the Champions League next week, and after the first leg ended in a 1-1 draw, Borussia Dortmund is the home team this time, and I think we might see some rotations here from them. Get a chance to some players who might not be playing as much as they would like to. But this is going to be a chance for them to prove themselves to the coach. And I think that Werder Bremen might actually have a decent chance of getting a positive result out of this game. Uh, of course, I do expect Borussia Dortmund to score a goal because they're such a good offensive team. They have a lot of depth as well. Uh, and with all that in mind, guys, I'm going to take over 8.5 shots on target at -161. It is a bit juiced, yes. You might push the line to over 9.5 if you want to get a nice plus money out of it, but I might actually take this one over 8.5 shots on target and put it in a double with something else and get more value out of this game. In the Italian Serie A, guys, we have a couple of games for you here in this video, and the first one is between Sassuolo and Frosinone. And after a bad series of results, Sassuolo has actually dropped into the relegation zone. And another piece of bad news is that they will be without Berardi for this game, who is injured. Luckily for them, Frosinone has like 7 or 8 injuries, and their depth is significantly reduced. And if I'm being honest, after 7 games without beating anyone, I think that Sassuolo is due for a nice performance and nice 3 points at home. So Sassuolo also hasn't lost to Frosinone in their last 5 home games. And when I took everything into consideration, I was debating with myself whether to take over 2.5 or take Sassuolo on the money line, and I decided to settle with Sassuolo on the money line at home. It's +125. Bologna and Inter, the biggest game of the day is Serie A, and I think it's going to be a very, very hard fought battle for both teams. I think it's going to be a tight game. Uh, Inter hasn't lost in a very long time. Bologna is now on a 6 game winning streak. They have kept a bunch of clean sheets during this streak. Uh, they have scored a bunch of goals, and like I said, I think that they will be a real threat to Inter Milan in this game. Of course, Inter Milan is a huge favorite. Well, not a huge favorite. They are the favorites, but what's bothering me about them is the fact that they're playing in the Champions League next week against Atletico Madrid on the road. And once again, we might see some rotations by Simone Inzaghi as the head coach, just to keep those top players rested for that huge matchup against Atletico Madrid. Bologna, on the other side, like I said, on a nice winning streak, they're scoring a ton of goals, they're keeping clean sheets, they're looking really, really well. They now got into the top four, which is the Champions League zone. Uh, and like I said, I think that they could be a threat to Inter Milan here, but I think that if anything's going to happen in this game, if we don't see a nil-nil draw, it's going to happen in the second half. And because of that, I'm going to go with the first half draw at +105. In the French League One, guys, I decided to go with the 2 games that we have. The first one is between Lorient and Lyon, and as soon as I saw this one, I'm gonna go with both teams to score at -139. Both teams in fairly solid form. Lyon is coming off of a loss against Lens where they got shut out. I don't think they will got shut out against Lorient because Lorient kept 2 clean sheets in a row when playing at home. I don't think they will do it third time in a row. So both teams to score in this Lorient versus Lyon matchup in the French League One. And the last pick of the day before we move on to the parlay is between Lens and Brest. Lens is coming off of a win against Lyon, like I said, 3-0, but Brest is on a 3 game winning streak and they're now in the second place of the French League One. Qualifying for the Champions League would be huge, huge deal for this Brest team. Now, on top of that, they have kept 3 clean sheets in a row while scoring 5 goals in those 3 games. And I don't know. I think it's worth a shot to take Brest on the money line, maybe a double chance. It should also be a decent price, but I'm gonna go with both teams to score. Brest keeping four clean sheets in a row would definitely be something else. It would definitely be a very strange occurrence if you ask me, but I honestly don't think they can do it on their own here once again against a solid team like Lens is. So Lens versus Brest, both teams to score at minus 111. And now we are up to the parlay of the day, guys. Another five legger pays on at plus 399. I'm taking Bournemouth on the money line. Arsenal versus Brentford over 2.5 goals. I'm taking Bayern on the money line. Taking Leipzig to win at over 1.5 goals. And in the Belgian Pro League, I'm going to take Anderlecht on the money line against Molenbeek on the road. Anderlecht is on a huge winning streak. Now, if you are willing to accept a little bit smaller odds, I would take Bayern to win it over 1.5 instead of the money line, and take Anderlecht on the double chance. That should get you to plus 330 or so in my at least that's what I had on my book. But if you like the parlay I have, go with it. I'm gonna go with a full unit on it, and I'm gonna adjust those lines, the two that I just mentioned, and put another unit on that one as well. So Bournemouth moneyline, Arsenal Brentford over 2.5 goals. Bayern moneyline, Leipzig to win it over 1.5 goals, and Anderlecht on the moneyline in the Belgian Pro League. That's it, guys. Thank you for joining me here. These were free picks for Saturday. Hope you have a great day, guys. Check out the MLS free picks, and of course, good luck with all of your bets. And I'll see you soon with more free winners.